The Korean War ended in 1953, when not as many people were enlisting in the Air Force. The U.S. Air Force needed more pilots. The 3600th Air Demonstration Unit, the Thunderbirds, was activated on May 25, 1953. However, they originally called themselves the Stardusters, but then Lieutenant General Robert Harper changed the name to the Thunderbirds. It was the world's first supersonic aerial demonstration team, and it consisted of 7 officers along with 22 enlisted. It was created because the Air Force leaders wanted to prove to people that about anyone could be trained to fly jet airplanes. This unit was located at the Luke Air Force Base in Arizona, but in 1956 they moved to the Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. The first aircraft selected to be part of the Thunderbirds was called the Straight-Wing F-84G Thunderjet. It got its name because of how the straight-wing design allowed it to be stable and manageable. It is known to be good for close air support, and it was also used as an interdiction strike aircraft in the Korean War. However, there were several problems with the early F-84s, such as weak wings, too much weight, as well as a lacking of engines and extra parts. This newer F-84 corrected most of the problems. Some of the roles include being a fighter bomber, a nuclear bomber, long-range escort fighter, day fighter, and even to be a test bed for experiments. Later, 2 new versions evolved. They came to be called the Thunderstreak, which is a swept-wing fighter version, and the Thunderflash, which is a swept-wing reconnaissance version. One of the least costly fighters used by the Air Force today is the F-16 Fighting Falcon, first flown on December 8, 1976. It is great for air-to-air combat and air-to-surface attack. It's actually not expensive and has a high-performance weapon system. In air-to-air combat, it has the capability to find certain targets in different weather conditions. In air-to-surface attack, it can fly greater than 500 miles. In 2003, the Thunderbirds celebrated their 50th anniversary and made television history by having "Gentlemen, start your engines" announced from on board a Thunderbird before the Coca-Cola 600. They later visited Europe in 2007 for the first time since 9/11. The Lockheed F-80, also called the Shooting Star, and the Republic F-84 were both phenomenal for close air support and interdiction raids. It was the first U.S. Air Force aircraft to surpass 500 miles per hour and the first U.S. Air Force jet to be in combat. It was designed as a high-altitude interceptor, but was used as a fighter bomber in the Korean conflict. The Republic F-84 was the first U.S. Air Force jet fighter that could carry a tactical atomic weapon. Almost every day it attacked enemy bridges, supply depots, railroads, and troop concentrations with bombs and rockets. If air-to-air fighting involved jets, it was in Korea. Whenever units needed help or supplies, airlifts helped them out by bringing them ammunition, food, medicines, and even mail. Helicopters were significant when air-sea rescues were needed or men needed to be helped transported. The Federal Aviation Administration team banned all the supersonic flights at air shows. However, 6 more shows were performed between April 26 and May 9, 1964. The Thunderbirds' first air show was at their unit base in Arizona on June 8, 1953. During that year, there were 50 more shows performed. Some air flight shows were performed in Asia, the Philippines, Europe, Africa, the Caribbean, and more. While touring in Asia, the Thunderbirds won the McKay Trophy, which was one of the Air Force's highest awards.
For you today, we are proud to represent America's Air Force. From flying combat missions in Afghanistan to flying satellites into space, we are the most lethal Air Force on the planet. Now look back to the right and find Thunderbirds 5 and 16.